today. I have mailed back the pre-production unit of the Fujifilm X-H2s.
H2s.
Which we have nicknamed the H2s, and it seems to be sticking. And I think Fujifilm will never send me a camera again if it does end up sticking. H2s is H2s, all is one word. And that goes back today. That was a fun time.
What was your experience with that? Get closer to the mic.
It was great. We brought it to Iceland, and I don't think we were supposed to.
Okay.
I don't think it was supposed to leave the country. I also don't think that we were really supposed to test it properly because it is a pre-production unit.
Right.
Another interesting thing is it seems like, this is maybe the first time this has happened, that different units seem to go to different people.
Okay.
So the one that we got, incredible autofocus.
Right.
The one that Gerald Dunn got, kind of sketchy autofocus. So very, very strange. So I don't know if there's an official note from the company on that, but it does seem a bit weird.
Interesting. And then you mentioned your experience with the autofocus. How would you rank that in terms of other flagship cameras in the market today?
It's quite good.
Yeah.
I will wait until it's officially released because if it is the one that I had, I don't know. It's very, very nice. We use the Canon R6. This is the Canon R6 actually right here. And what we're going to do in this podcast is when the camera overheats, because it will overheat, that's when the show is done. So Tyler's going to give us a countdown timer when he sees the red overheat pop up. And then that's the show.
Yeah, we got about 25 minutes. Maybe
I think
a bit
so.
less. Yeah.
I would say today is a relatively colder day. So I'm going to say we're probably going to get maximum. Showtimes are going to come down over the summer, especially if we're outside here and it gets to be 30 degrees Celsius.
Here's the Red
This
Bull.
is how many Red Bulls do you think were consumed by the group of us this weekend?
The wedding crew,
The wedding
586
crew,
weddings.
as in we have kind of an extended group of friends that are all wedding photographers or professionals. Or Jeff Mack actually opened the ceremony with a Red Bull sponsor. He's trying real hard to get the Red Bull sponsorship.
Are we excited? Holy moly, I hope so. Look, I'm pretty fired up. I'm like 6 Red Bulls deep.
And we're trying too.
Today I'm enjoying the sugar-free Red Bull, which also has 10 grams of sugar, so take that with what you will.
I am enjoying the peach. The peach is actually quite delicious. If you've never had the peach, I recommend trying it out.
Cheers, Taylor. Cheers.
I'm going to say our squad, so we did full photo video. So we were, Alex was doing video.
Yep.
I was doing photography and video, and Montana was doing video.
Great.
Alex brought an entire plastic bag. He works at a bar over here. So he just arrived with one Monster and I think 8 Red Bulls.
Okay.
And on Friday, you had a full case of Red Bulls.
I had a
one
full 8-pack.
actually had a puncture.
Yes.
And you had to shotgun it in the parking lot at a wedding venue.
Yeah.
For a video.
Of which I'm preferred, so I'm sure I'm not preferred at that venue anymore. If anyone
Tim's
saw
cut
me.
from that team, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The actual real sponsor of the podcast is Focal, though. It is on my hat.
If you're watching the podcast, Taylor has a hat. It says
If
Focal
you're-
on it.
if you're
Tell me
not-
about the upcoming event that Focal has planned.
So there's 2 things right now.
Okay.
If you get a website, my website's a Focal website, Lindsay's website's a Focal website. They're building lots of them. Used to be a little bit of a wait for you to actually to get one because small team. Now, if you do it, it's 5 days guaranteed. 5 business days, you submit your images. They will
Great.
build you a custom site. They'll be like, here's your website. Do you like it? Any changes? It's yours. Here's the keys. They'll do that in 5 days. And you get a custom logo as well, which is awesome.
That's
And that is
fantastic.
included. And then also,
What a great deal.
in Banff
Yes.
National Park, we're doing
Canada.
a workshop. So if you want to come to Canada, we're going to be in Banff National Park,
Yeah.
which is a beautiful location. I'm going to say it's one of my favorite. I'm not going to say it's my favorite location because that's disrespectful to
It's
the
up
rest
there,
of Canada.
though. It's up there. Right?
But yeah, you've seen it 150 times on the channel already, I'm sure. And it is, it's going to be amazing. We're setting up styled shoots. So you basically can walk into a beautiful scene, a destination style wedding or elopement that may not have ended up in your inbox yet. You get to kind of build out your portfolio. Plus, you get to hang out with, well, myself. Tim's going to come for a day, we think.
I think so. But aside from
And-
seeing yourself, Lindsay Coulter, your wife's going to be there.
Yeah,
She's the
Lindsay's
host
going to
of
be
the
there.
event.
And Sam Hurd.
Yeah, world-class photographers. Sam
Scott-
Hurd. Who else? Who else we
Nicole
got?
Ashley.
Yep.
Scott Robert Lim.
Great.
Caroline Tran.
Love it.
It's going to be a pretty cool crew. And you basically do half-day workshops with all of them. So if you look at a regular workshop, I don't know, Sam's workshop, you go to his full day, it's $950. Our workshop is $950 off, not to compete directly with Sam.
Yeah.
We didn't look at his, I just saw it.
But
today.
the value you're getting from this...
But the value you're getting, you're doing half-day workshops with
incredible.
everybody. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
So very, very exciting.
That's exciting, Taylor. That's
right.
great. Okay, those are the plugs.
Those are the plugs.
We talked about APS-C a little bit. What are some of the value points of going APS-C versus full frame?
I am curious what everyone else's
Opinions are.
opinions are on this because it seems like within a week, within kind of the past maybe 10 days, Canon dropped the R10 and R7,
Right.
of which I will be getting an R7, I'm sure.
Okay.
R10, I don't know.
Iffy.
I love there's going to be smaller. I love the lenses that are hopefully going to be coming out for the smaller camera body, and just as a run and gun style thing,
For
it's
sure.
It's going to be great.
It's gonna be awesome.
It's also, you're already purchasing the ecosystem, so to have a smaller camera
Mm-hmm.
as a backup, it's great.
Yeah.
Happy about that. Fuji dropped theirs and kind of hinted at the announcement of a high resolution sensor version as well that's going to be coming that won't be backside illuminated. I don't know if I'm getting the specs right. So that will be coming. Nikon hasn't done an APS-C in a little while, but the little guy, the ZF-C, is
Yeah.
one of my favorite cameras. I think it's a ZF-C.
He's the tactical looking like a Fujifilm kind of guy, right?
Yeah. And then we used the Z50 a lot when we were filming the Nikon show as
Yeah,
well.
that's right. Yeah.
And I just enjoy this small form factor, street photography. It does most of the things you could ever need from a camera, with the exception of when you do want to get into
Portraits.
actually doing a wedding day or something. At that point, I think it's important to step up to something else, at least in kind of the Nikon and maybe Canon world. I haven't tested the new Canon yet.
We'll find out.
Yeah, I don't know. What you shoot? So what are your current kits? So you play. What are all the hats that you wear, and what do those kits all look like?
Are you asking me or are you asking?
I'm asking you.
Oh, great.
I'm just wearing sunglasses.
Primarily for photography. Photography, I shoot with Canon, the R6. It's working really well. I have two of them now, which is great because I was going back and forth between the D850 for a while, making sure that it's something I really enjoyed and loved working with.
It's a bit of a culture shock to go back.
It is
now.
a bit, yeah. So I said, let's just do 2 feet all in with the R6. And then for the long form video stuff I do, whether it be commercial work or recording long ceremonies, I'm still a Panasonic boy, and I have the GH6, which works really well now. So I'm very happy with that.
Very nice. And so I am familiar that I've seen your GH6 pointed at my direction
Correct.
sometimes, but I've never really used it. What do you love? So it's a micro four thirds, so it's
It
not
is.
technically an APS-C body,
No.
but it is a smaller body,
Yeah.
not full frame. What are the reasons that you enjoy it?
Well, the pros are obviously the weight of it. It's very light in my hand. I can do a lot of handheld stuff without a gimbal, which is great. I can get a lot of moving stuff without having to implement more technology than I need to on a day. The stabilization in that is incredible.
Yeah.
So coupled with the weight of it, the stabilization, 5-axis, whatever it is, you can get really steady looking, beautiful shots. The low light of the GH5s I have as well is not great, but with the GH6, I really feel like it stepped up a bit. And also it's got like unlimited record time, which is great. It never overheats. Has a fan now, so.
But no autofocus.
no
well,
auto-
it does, but
Yeah,
not
true.
useful.
It's not a very good autofocus. I will admit that. It's not great. But for wedding films, I tend to manual focus because I kind of like that filmic look to all my videos. So I aim for that, which is nice.
Nice.
That being
I'm
said,
not-
I have used a bit of R6 for my wedding films recently, and I'm like, this is so much easier.
It's very, very nice.
Yeah.
There has been so much APS-C news that I've actually forgotten to mention that Sony just dropped they have 3 new
Okay.
APS-C lenses coming out, which maybe does that hint at a future Sony APS-C body?
It could.
I don't know.
We'll find
I would
out.
love to see a small, little, tiny Sony guy.
Yeah.
Especially with those new lenses because they do look very nice.
That's great. Jared Gionis had an interesting article. He's a wedding photographer and a wedding portrait photographer. He posted an article. Tell me about this. I haven't read it yet, but
That was Gary Hughes.
Gary Hughes?
Gary Hughes.
I'm sorry, Jared Gionis.
It's funny though because they
Are friends? Enemies?
No, they're very good friends.
Oh, good.
And when they're at parties together, they become one person named Hugh Gionis.
Hugh Gionis.
Hugh Gionis. It is one word.
What a monster. Sounds like a Demogorgon type thing.
Yeah, and Gary introduced Jerry on stage for WPPI,
Please, this is a serious night.
and it was probably the best speech I've ever heard in my life as far as an intro goes for somebody.
What did
Gary from Orlando,
what did Gary
Florida.
have to say? Yeah.
He basically kind of talked about the fact that maybe you secretly hate photography once you actually become a professional photographer.
Interesting.
So you begin the process. It's a hobby. It's fun. You're having a great time. And then at some point you start getting paid for it, and maybe you start to get too busy, and that becomes a negative. And you start to he kind of opens it with the I won't pick up a camera unless I'm getting paid. So yeah, the idea is basically that is that you? Do you secretly hate photography? Have you? I feel like it works either way. Whether you're successful, maybe you're too successful, it starts to take time away from other aspects of your life that you would like to spend more time at, such as family, or maybe you've actually failed at creating a successful photography business after putting in so much time and so much effort, and both kind of lead to that same weird sentence that I'm not getting out of bed unless I'm making $1,000 today.
Sure.
And I feel like most of us are guilty of saying something like that or something similar. And It's a great article. Go read it if this is connected with you in any way.
Yeah.
Gary, I guess, is a new Petapixel editor or contributor.
Yep.
That's probably the one.
That's
the one.
That's the word.
So yeah, I'm excited to see and also Gary and I have a video coming up on the channel at some point too.
Great.
In
Do
Orlando,
you talk
Florida.
about this, or is this in the past?
No, we don't talk about
Okay,
this.
fair
What
enough.
we do talk about, and maybe just something generally interesting, is the way that he operates a studio. And he definitely talked about kind of this aspect earlier when we were together, that he created his studio around the lifestyle that he wants. And I feel like we've kind of done the same thing, that we want a little bit more free time. I guess we should also mention that we're outside and there is construction noise. We're joined by the Rock over here.
There's lots of noise. There's police over here. There's a lot of construction going on. Looks like sewer work, manhole work.
We thought we'd pick the abandoned.
We have the Rock behind us.
Yeah, if it's noisy. Anyways, he was talking about how he built his story, or how he built his business around kind of his lifestyle and what he wanted.
Sure.
He wants to be home with his kids. He wants to be done by 5.
Yeah.
And he built a headshot studio, and he is connected with lots of local companies. And as part of the onboarding package, those employees now just come on over and get their headshot done by him. He matches the headshot to whatever he shot. For the rest of the company, they're up on the website. They got an email signature, and he does that maybe 2 or 3 times, maybe more on a day if he actually goes on site. But if they're coming to his studio, does a couple of shoots, makes a good amount of money. He's very good at what he does, very consistent also, which is incredibly important for headshot photography when matching. Just does a great job, and then goes home at 5. And every day he's 9 to 5. He has somebody that manages all the other aspects of the business and sets up the shoots and schedules and talks with people. And then I think his wife helps him with marketing and a few other things. But it's a very interesting take on a business that I don't know, I feel like we work 1 million hours a week doing weddings, especially when you're at a wedding. If it's a 12-hour day, you probably got 2 hours on each side of that, and all of a sudden you're working 16 hours. And then maybe like this weekend, we had one Friday together with Lindsay.
Yep.
And then there'll be behind the scenes of that on the channel. And then I guess yesterday I went out and I did a lot. It's shocking to do both full photo and video as the main person in both. I feel like it's so much data. I had like 17 cards at the end of the shoot.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
I had 700 gigs of stuff.
700 gigs?
700 gigs.
Actual 700 gigs?
700 gigs
Wow.
of photo and video files from Saturday. So
Okay.
It was a lot.
You win. And how many Red Bulls did you consume?
I had 3.
You had 3?
Yeah.
That seems low.
That
seems low.
It's an all-time low for me on a wedding day.
We're also looking for the
we're
Red Bull
shamelessly
sponsorship.
plugged. I'm just going to push those closer to the camera if we can. I think that's fantastic that Gary has
Hughes.
set up his own kind of 9 to 5 business within the photography industry. Because like you said, we can get, it's kind of like a runaway train. You can just kind of start following things that are leads that lead to cooler projects. And then you get to the point where you're like, do I even like what I'm doing anymore? Are these projects that get me out of bed, like make me passionate about this medium? So if you can set something up in your life where it is kind of a structured business, like a 9 to 5 business, but you're incredibly creative within that window, I think you can make a very meaningful career out of it. And you won't have that burnout. You won't have that kind of like, I don't want to do it today.
Yeah, it's
I didn't
actually
read the article. We should link the article below
Yeah.
in the description of the video and the podcast. So
it will be there.
read it. I
also,
will too.
We haven't overheated yet.
How are we doing, Tyler?
We're good.
2 thumbs?
How long are we in?
17 minutes.
17
my
minutes.
God.
No overheat warning yet.
Fantastic.
Shout out Canon R6. I think one of the other kind of important points within that also is when you are kind of building your own business and life direction.
Sure.
It's so easy. There's actually, I did a short film with our friend Blair in Italy a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
And this is a section of it. And I get to wear a hat and glasses. I get to play this super dumb character that everyone's going to hate, but we had so much fun. And that character is basically the guy that follows wherever the money's going.
Okay.
And if you start your business and somebody's like, hey, I'll pay you $150 to shoot my kitchen.
Great.
You're like, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I've never been paid before for photography. Of course I'll do that.
I know what a kitchen looks like.
And you start doing that and you start pulling your business in all these different directions. And I was definitely guilty of it when I was getting started in photography, where my photography website, I was a concert and music photographer. So I had that element. I had weddings. And I think I started to build like kind of a stock portfolio / kitchens portfolio. I'm referencing myself specifically. And it was very, I don't know, it very much stalled the growth of my business for at least a couple of months until I figured out that I can't be a kitchen photographer, a music and concert photographer, and also wedding photographer all in one. And it's stressful when you're getting started. You're like, this is what I want to do. Like, where's money? Oh, I can make $100 doing this. I can make $80 doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, this family, like, this is going to be like a 2-hour wedding. $350. I don't know what to charge. Maybe I'll go on the internet and figure it out.
Yeah.
your business starts going in so many different directions, and there's a pretty good chance that not all of those are going to make you happy, and they're probably not all the reasons that you got into photography. So I think it is important, even in the beginning, when there is the distraction of money, to, that's nice, right? You can't license that.
Nope.
It is important to focus on what direction you want to take your business in.
Yeah.
My overall direction, I think kind of I don't know if it's a mantra or whatever, but basically I am in photography and video and content creation, surprisingly, to unlock time freedom so that I don't have to be at a 9 to 5. I can be at a desk on a weird, you're in the sun, by the way.
I am in the sun. How do
That's
I look?
nice.
Tyler? Still good? Kind of a two-tone thing? It doesn't matter.
Well, we feel like we're in Mexico with The Rock.
We're on
And
the beach, technically.
Yeah, we are
There's
on the
a
beach.
palm tree that you can't see
There's-
without a frame that's very dead.
There's probably some needles in this beach.
Yeah, I wouldn't go barefoot.
I'm surprised we haven't been kicked out yet, to be honest.
But you mentioned, like, beginning of your career as a photography human being, your mouth is just open so wide for every opportunity that comes in. And so, yeah, it can be kind of overwhelming. You take all these small jobs to kind of make up a full-time career salary. And then by the end of the week, you're like, I feel like I've done everything but nothing at the same time. So
Yeah.
there's an interesting saying that brought that to mind. There's riches in the niches. So the more niche you can get as a photographer, as a creator, as a videographer, I feel like the more sought after you'll be, and the more you kind of refine and define what it is that you do. So even though things may come at you in terms of like, let's do an artist feature, let's do real estate photography, you can say, hey, I'd love to, but maybe I want to do it my specific way or in my kind of fashion. And people will like that. People will want you for that, and they'll end up paying more for that.
Yeah, and then you can also just do stuff in secret too. You
Yeah.
don't got to be posting about every single photo
Truly.
job that you get.
Yeah.
If it doesn't match your overall kind of direction and vision, don't be posting about the awesome kitchens you shot.
Absolutely.
And just go set up another styled shoot if you want to be a wedding photographer rather than sitting around and waiting for it to come to you, because it won't.
I do real estate photography still for one specific company because I know that they pay on time and they're very easy to work with. So
That's nice.
it's 4 hours of my life every month, and it pays well enough that I'm like, this is worth it. This is great, and it's easy enough that they give me enough. Headroom to like decide the photos I want to take, and that's
Yeah.
it.
I will also say that there's at least when
What's that?
there's a bird.
Is there a bird?
Is there a large turkey vulture?
Let us know, Tyler.
Is
Don't
there
let us
is
get
there
killed.
rock back there?
Terramana.
Is it a raccoon?
Terramana, everybody.
Is it a?
Small batch tequila.
Well, I'm scared. We are out here in the jungle in Mexico, so if we do die,
Does he have a movie coming out? He always has a movie coming out.
The Rock does 100 million movies a year. They've licensed his essence,
Yeah.
like Jim Carrey
Ooh, does
in
he have
that
a
memoir book.
Does he have a smell? I'm sure he has a scent. Like a
Probably,
cologne.
I would assume that he's licensed that. I would say, The Rock has done an incredible job business-wise, and Jimmy Buffett. I'm gonna
Okay.
throw Jimmy Buffett into the mix
Sure.
here too, because he was a musician,
Yeah.
and now he owns a chain of restaurants and like Landshark beer.
Yeah.
And he's done all of these different things that are still within the bounds of something that makes sense for him and
Yeah.
his audience. But he built this audience, and he's like, I bet they would come to the Margaritaville Resort and Casino in
Yeah.
Key West. I don't know if it's
He
a
is
casino.
Key West.
But
He is Key West.
he's Mr. Key West.
Yeah.
And he's not even from there. He's from Nashville, probably. I don't know. We'll get
We'll
more
look
to
it
Jimmy
up.
Buffett next episode.
Yeah.
If you have any questions for us,
Please
please.
send us a video of
Send
yourself.
him a video.
Send me a video. My Instagram handle is here. Just throw it in my inbox. I'll make sure I take a look at them, and then we'll post the most important ones and things that we think are the most important questions to the show, to the viewers and listeners. So
Yeah. And if you've made it this far into this episode, we trust you
we trust you. We love you
as well. So please slide into Tim's DMs.
Yeah.
And we'll put the next show. I feel like we should just come back here. This is kind of nice.
This is really nice until the cops shut us down or
Yeah.
something. How are we doing on overheating?
Oh, it's fine. 23 minutes right now and no sign of overheating.
Wow. This is incredible.
Yeah.
So we really thought that we'd get like 20 minutes and then we'd have to do a quick wrap up.
Yeah.
But I guess
Well, let's end with
We're
a
going
plug.
an extra time.
Tell me again about the focal offerings you guys have this month.
the focal offering, get a website, get a logo. It's a nice logo. It's a custom logo. Custom
Yeah.
website also in 5 business days or less. But you have to send the 5 days start once you send images,
Yeah.
which traditionally has been the hardest thing. It's like, yes, I would love a website. Here's the signed up everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then we wait to get images. If you send images, you'll have website.
Okay, so let's back up a bit. That sounded very caveman of like, what is, so if I don't know what focal is, say I'm tuning in for the first time, what is focal Taylor Jackson? Tell me about focal.
Number one, they'll make you a website.
Yep.
They'll make you a very nice custom website, and they'll do that in 5 business days. Number 2, it's also a CRM backend. So if you want to do your contracts, you can do all your bookings, keep everything nice and coordinated back there.
Yep.
And it's also, I would say, the simplest one. I think I've used pretty much most of them.
Yeah.
Say Honeybook, for instance, amazing, so many features that you'll never use.
Great CRM. Yeah.
So difficult and maybe not difficult, but it's time consuming. It's very overwhelming to set up.
And it's not custom tailored for photographers. It's made for a broad spectrum of businesses, whereas Focal is built by people who have been on the customer side of the photography business. So people who've booked photographers built this website based on the needs and the things that they want to see.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
That is.
Great.
And it's simple. It's easy to use. There's no learning curve. You'll look at it and you'll be like, yeah, I understand exactly what this is. Thank you for solving this and getting my contracts out of Gmail. And then the other side is once you actually get a website and you put your packages, if you want to put your packages publicly, they will actually enter into the marketplace, which means that if a customer is searching for a wedding photographer in Toronto, that all of a sudden now your packages are popping up. You also get great SEO from that as well, that a lot of people have been booking just based on the fact that the Focal website has a lot of good SEO juice in it already. And if somebody's searching for mini sessions in your city, there's a pretty good chance that Focal website is going to pop up on that front page and it's going to book you some work through that as well. So
Focal. Look into it.
And then come to Banff.
Come to Banff. We're doing a photography workshop up in the hills, the mountains of Banff, in Vancouver, Canada.
Vancouver.
Vancouver. Yeah, that's Vancouver, right?
It is Calgary, sir.
It's Calgary?
Yeah, it's Calgary.
Alberta. Alberta?
Lots of direct flights, though.
It's only 6, 7 provinces. I don't know.
We're still learning geography here.
But it's happening in September of this year, 2022. The details of where to sign up are in the description of this episode, video as well as audio podcast.
Yeah.
And you're going to be surrounded by some fantastic photographers from around the world showing you how they do what they do, styled shoots throughout the day, small sessions, so you're not stuck with like 40, 50 people. It's you and 14 other people and the photographer. And yeah, it's a great learning experience, something to help boost your career as a photographer.
Yeah, it's a good boost your career.
Yeah.
And it's already half sold out or over half sold out now.
Oh,
so,
shoot. Okay.
If you want a ticket,
Jump in.
get that ticket soon. And that's all, I think, for
That's
today.
it. That's all we got. Not really, no.
No, we're not a radio station. Live on the patio.
Live on the patio, Terramana, The Rock. Tyler, we must be out of time now, right?
No, we're approaching 27 minutes. All good.
Wow. I guess they solved the overheating.
Wow, that was quick.
Wow. Put that on f-stoppers. The overheating hasn't been solved, but in this specific use case, it has been. So that's very, very nice.
We're still going to cut it off here.